Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to look at how we can identify potential communication issues with Qimen forecasting. Now we're looking at this in the context of a first date, relationships. So let's say you go on a first date with someone and it all looks cool. You get along well, but you want to kind of find out whether this person is actually a great communicator outside that first date because during a first date there's only so much you can learn about a particular person, and you obviously all put your best foot forward. But is this person that you like a great communicator overall, or is this someone who'd rather not talk about issues and just bottles them up, and then at some point they just explode, or you're never really talking about problems that may occur in a relationship? So you may want to find that out early on, and especially if the date goes well, then you may want to look into that just to double check, right? Now, this is when you're on a first date and you need to use the hour chart in Qimen Dunjia. So what that means is, let's say you're on this date and then you just excuse yourself for 5 minutes, you go to the washroom and you go to this link here. So save that on your phone, go to this link and just scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. You don't need to enter any data or anything, just scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. You will get what we call the current hour chart. Yeah, you need to actually have the hour chart of the hour you are on the date at this particular hour. Don't backplot. So don't go home and then say, oh, 2 hours ago I was with this person, so now let's plot the chart. Don't do that. This will give you the wrong result. And also don't pre-plot the chart. So, you're going to meet up with someone in 3 hours and now you're already plotting the chart for that particular hour. Don't do that either. So you need to plot the chart while you are on this date with this particular person. So just excuse yourself for a couple of minutes, go to the washroom, and then plot this chart. And this chart can then tell you whether or not the person you are with right now on this date is someone who generally is good at communicating, or whether that's someone who down the line, if you got into a relationship with him or her, would be someone who just doesn't talk about relationship issues, doesn't really open up, and that obviously makes it then difficult to have a healthy relationship. So now what do you actually look at in this chart? This is very easy. So the current hour chart, you look here at the hour stem. Here up here, it says hour stem. This is what you look at. And you find the box where you find this hour stem in the upper left. Yeah, so here we have it in the southwest. So the upper left, you may also see it somewhere else. So here you have it in the lower left. You don't care about this. Yeah, it has to be in the upper left of the box of the palace, as we call it. This is the palace. This is the box you then focus on. Yeah. So check, where is this hour stem? Where is it located? Now, once you've identified this particular box or this particular palace, the next component you look at is this one here, the one on the upper right. This is what we call the deity. Yeah, or the deity, the God realm, universe realm of this particular box. And this will tell you whether or not the person is someone you need to be a little bit careful of in terms of communication, or whether they're generally open. So there are only 4 deities that can indicate that there are certain problems. So if you see a deity there in the upper right that says chief, then you may want to be a little bit careful, because the person can be a little bit rigid in their communication, and it can be quite difficult to get through to them, meaning they have like a certain viewpoint, they have like a certain opinion, and it's very, very difficult to get your point across and change their opinion. So it's not necessarily so much a communication issue as it is an issue of not wanting to change their opinion on certain things. And so that can make them quite rigid and inflexible. And, in certain situations when compromise is needed, this can be tricky to deal with. So just careful with that. Now, this is not the worst. You just kind of need to catch them in a good mood. Then everything is possible. Yeah. So having the chief there is not the worst thing, but you need to be aware that they may be a little bit rigid, a little bit stubborn. They don't want to change their point of view. So catch them in a good mood and you can change their mind. Otherwise, yeah, you may as well not try. Now, the other one that you may want to be a bit careful of is if you have the moon there. If the moon deity appears together with the hour stem in that same box, they find it difficult to communicate because they're always holding something back. Even though it may not be a bad thing, they're just not really willing to express everything that's going on inside them. There may be a lot of going on, a lot of internal self-talk, internal conversations, but they're not really willing and open to put it all out there. Maybe they don't want to tell you about certain things that they are embarrassed about that you wouldn't really mind, but they may just be embarrassed. Maybe they don't want to tell you that they've been divorced, for example. And so that's something that they will always hold back. And so, you know, if you get into a relationship with them and you need to talk about relationship issues and how the relationship works, that may be some information that's useful. But again, it's not necessary bad intent. Yeah, it's just for them, either they feel uncomfortable talking about it or they feel embarrassed. It can really be quite benign. And they just hold back because they think that it may ruin their chances with a potential partner, yeah, or in a relationship itself. And then we've got the two that you really need to be careful of is the white tiger. So the tiger, if the tiger appears up here, yeah, or the red phoenix. So the tiger or the phoenix, if you have the tiger or the phoenix together with that hour stem in the same box, then you may want to be careful. They are both extremely straightforward in their communication, not very diplomatic at all. So they just kind of blurt out whatever comes into their mind. And if you're a straightforward person, if you can take that, that's fine, right? You may want to like that. But you know, it's not always the best to just be so outspoken and straightforward in every situation. They are often very, very blunt, and this can be quite hurtful to people. Um, they don't want to be hurtful necessarily, but their words really, really sting. And so in an argument, they may say things that they don't really mean, but they can be offensive, they can be hurtful, and you know, they just say it out of anger, and once it's said, it's too late to take back. Yeah, so and they will do that in regular conversations as well, just not being diplomatic at all, not really thinking about how the other person will respond to it. So they will just blurt it out, be super straightforward, and just keep that in mind. That may be hurtful. So none of these are deal breakers in a relationship, but you just need to be aware of the fact that some people just communicate differently than you do. And so keeping that in mind, knowing how someone communicates or what bothers them, that helps a lot, for especially if you then get into a situation where communication is really, really important. All right. So I hope this helps on your first dates. So this is not something that you use when you're already in a relationship. This is really something on a first date. This is what you check there and then. If you're already in a relationship, you probably know about the communication issues, if there are any, but this is how to figure it out from the get-go. All right. Try to apply that. Let me know how that goes after your next first date. Let me know if you figured out something important, something valuable. And if you have any other comments, please put it in the comment section below. Or if you want to contact me directly, maybe for a personal reading, get in touch with me. My email address is in the description to the video. And again, as always, I would love it if you would just hit that subscribe button, get the word out about my channel so that more people can benefit. Like the video, share it out with anybody who may find this useful. All right. See you guys soon. Thank you so much.